Hi and welcome or welcome back to the Books Were Everywhere. So it is Monday, it's the start of another weekly reading vlog. I feel like I failed a lot on last week's weekly reading vlog. I've literally just wrapped it up late and I didn't vlog for a lot of the week. But this week, hopefully, I'm going to be better. I have more time this week, hopefully. So yeah, I thought I'd just start this week's weekly reading vlog on Monday evening and give you a quick update on what I'm currently reading. So I'm currently reading two books, which is A Gathering of Shadows by V. Schwab and Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I've been reading this one since the first of the month, so I'm taking a while to read this. It's probably taken me longer to read this one than it has a book in a long time, but it is very, very slow. It only just kind of got going for me, which is its only downside really, is that it's taken me a long time to get into this one. But honestly, last night, about 350 pages in, maybe a little bit less than that, like 300 pages in, something happened and there was just this like paragraph and I needed to go to sleep when it happened, so I just had to like close the book. But I've wanted to just carry on reading it ever since because this is so intriguing and there is so much going on right now that I just want to carry on reading it. So I'm very excited to continue reading this. I probably won't give you too many like in-depth thoughts because I want to keep this spoiler free. I had no idea that this book was going in the direction that it did, and obviously it added to the experience for me, so I won't say anything, but it is very dramatic, kind of mystery, which I really like, and I feel like it's finally gripping me. Hoping to finish this one tomorrow, so I will keep you updated as this vlog goes on. And then I'm also reading A Gathering of Shadows, which is the second book in the Dark Shade of Magic series, and I'm really enjoying this one. I feel like there was something in the first book that was lacking, this kind of tension, and also I wasn't enjoying the audiobook as much because of the narrator, but this one has different narrators. Well, it has multiple narrators, which I really like. I'm not sure if the male narrator is the same as the first book or not. I can't quite tell because they have a very similar tone if they are different people. But yeah, this one has multiple narrators, which I feel like is really helping the story right now. Very glad that it has multiple narrators because of the male and female points of view in here. There's two different points of view. So yeah, very excited to see where this one goes. This is the second book in A Dark Shade of Magic, which follows Cal, who is a magician, and he can travel through multiple different Londons. So there's a red London, a white London, a black London, and there's a grey London. And he can travel, and then he meets Lila, and this one follows on from their adventures in book one. So yeah, excited to carry on reading this and Rebecca. Gonna go to bed now, honestly, but I will update you tomorrow. Hi, it's Tuesday and I've actually finished a book since I last spoke to you. I managed to finish Rebecca this morning. Honestly, the last 100 to 150 pages of this had me absolutely hooked. It was so good. I absolutely loved this book. The plot was very slow up until the past 150 pages of it, and then something happened and this whole kind of mystery was unveiled and I just couldn't put it down. I just wanted to carry on reading and see where it was going. I was constantly being left on cliffhangers. I was reading it at work yesterday and I was reading it on my break, and something would happen and then I'd have to go back upstairs to go to work. And I did the same thing when I went to sleep last night and the night before. I just wanted to carry on reading it. So I finished it this morning, really loved it. My only complaint, I think, is the fact that it is so slow. I feel like it lulls you into this like false sense of security before like things start happening. However, it's a lot of the book that it does that, and it makes it feel like a very slow read. And I completely understand what the author's trying to do, but I feel like it could be very easy to think this is a very different book, or even just put it down because you think it is too slow and it's not really going to pick up. Not that I was tempted to do that. I did want to read this one anyway. I was definitely going to carry on reading despite where it went, but I'm really glad it went where it did, because although it wasn't what I expected, I really enjoyed reading about it. And that's kind of all I'm going to say on the plot because I don't want to spoil things. I do just want to talk a little bit about the characters, which I think is super hard because they are so morally grey, and I find that fascinating, and I think maybe that's something this year I will be kind of more interested in, because both of the characters, both of the books I'm reading right now I've read, if we're considering this one, this one and the Dark Shade of Magic series have very morally grey characters, and I'm really enjoying them, and I feel like I'm liking the characters. Like for this one, for example, the main character, who we don't know the name of, she suffers from anxiety, and that kind of led me into this I had this kind of thing with her, this connection, because her anxiety was very similar to mine. So when I was reading kind of how she was feeling and what she was thinking, I felt very similar. I really understood where she was coming from. I really related to her. So I felt like I had this kind of sense of connection, and then things started happening and you're like, okay, you're not the person I thought you were, but I still have this kind of connection with you. And I really enjoyed the way that was written. I thought that was really clever. So yeah, this one was super interesting. I think I will give it 4.5 stars, mainly because of the pacing was just a little bit off for me. I think if the pacing was a little bit more consistent, even just a little bit more, I think is what it needed. Not a lot, because I understand what the author was trying to do. I just don't think a little bit more, then it would have been a 5-star. That was my only complaint really, but I really enjoyed this one. I'm glad I read it at the start of the year. I'm glad that I've read it. It did take me a lot longer to read than I expected. I think it took me 11 days in the end, or 10 days, but I'm glad that I read it. So yay, I finally read Rebecca, and I'm going to carry on reading it, The Gathering of Shadows. I haven't read any more since I last spoke to you, but I am going to carry on reading this one on audiobook today because I've got some driving ahead of me, and then over the next few days I'll probably do more physical reading because I'm going to be at home more, which I'm excited for because I'm looking forward to seeing where this one goes physically reading it, because I did enjoy physically reading A Dark Shade of Magic more than the audiobook, so looking forward to that. But it just makes sense to read the audiobook while I'm driving, because I like listening to audiobooks when I'm driving and having that kind of chunk of time where I wouldn't really be doing anything productive other than like getting from A to B. I like listening to something when I'm driving, so I can say, okay, I've listened to that podcast or book or whatever. So I'm going to read some of that on audio, and I am enjoying the audiobook more. But I'm also going to start another book this evening because obviously I finished Rebecca, and I'm trying to decide which one to start. I think I'm going to read Messy Roots next, which isn't strictly on my January TBR, like my January mini golf TBR, which is still looking quite daunting to me, but I'm getting there. But I really want to read this one this month, and it's a graphic novel, so it's going to be a quick read, but I don't think it's going to be a light-hearted read. This one also comes out in February. This is a brief that was sent to me by Harper360, so thank you to Harper. So I do want to read this one this month because it comes out next month, and I'd like to kind of give my thoughts and feelings on it before it comes out. But I'm so excited to read this. So this is a graphic novel memoir about a queer Chinese-American immigrant living in Texas, and it talks about how that they emigrated from China, from Wuhan in China, and then basically talks about COVID-19 and a lot of things that happen with COVID, obviously with Wuhan as well. So very interested to read this, and I know it's going to be a quick read, but as I said, I don't think it's going to be a light-hearted read. It has a little bit in full colour at the very start of the book, which is how the final copy is going to look. It is going to be in full colour, as it says on the front here, but the rest of the book, so I've got this little chunk at the start of just like 10-20 pages or so that is in full colour, and then the rest of it is in black and white, which I'm still really excited to read. So I think I might read this one tonight. I imagine it won't take me too long because it is a graphic novel, and it would also be nice to read something else and get it off my onto my Goodreads goal, because I know I'm behind at the moment with my Goodreads goal, so this would be a nice kind of boost to add another book to it. And I will have read 3 books this year then. And then I think I'm going to start, maybe not tonight, depends how long it takes me to read Messy Roots, but I'm going to start You and Me at the End of the World by Brianna Bourne. This is on my TBR for January from my mini golf TBR. This also feels so small. It's a little paperback after reading so many hardbacks and stuff. But anyway, I'm going to start this one, I think, because I feel like it'll hopefully be quite a quick read. It is a dystopian post-apocalyptic book, I think. So basically it follows Hannah and Leo, who wake up, and it's basically there's nobody on the world anymore, from what I can tell. Like it's the end of the world. and Hannah wakes up to silence. The entire city is empty other than Leo, who might be the hottest boy Hannah's ever seen, and not just because he's the only one left, but he's also too much of a disaster for his own good. Stuck with only each other, they explore a barren world and realise for the first time they can truly be themselves instead of what everybody expects of them. Together they search for answers. The world may appear harmless, but it's not. And if they don't figure out what's going on, they risk being torn apart forever. So I feel like this one will be quite a quick read, and I'm looking forward to kind of seeing where it goes. It was actually sent to me by the publishers as well, so thank you to Scholastic for this one. This was sent to me last year when it came out. But yeah, I think I'm going to start with this one because I feel like it'll be quicker than the others. But we will see. This is a very pretty book as well. I do love the design of this one and the font and stuff. But anyway, I think that might be my next couple of reads right there. And I will carry on reading Gathering of Shadows as the week goes on as well. But yeah, I'm gonna head off now and have a bit of a study day with my friend from uni, so that'll be nice, and then hopefully do some more reading later on tonight. Oh my god, guys, it's Wednesday. Today has been a day. I tried to go for a run this morning and then it was so frosty and icy on the paths that I was just going to fall over if I carried on. So I literally ended up running for like 5 minutes and then being like, nope, I'm gonna fall over, so I stopped. And then I decided this afternoon to film a video where I ranked all 183 books that I read last year. And it took me like an hour and a half to film, so I hope you enjoy that video when it goes up, because that video is going to be over an hour long because I just kept talking, so there isn't that much to cut out of the video, I don't think. But yeah, that's gonna be... It was fun to film and I'm glad I filmed it because I watched Peru's Project do one and I loved it. So I found it super interesting, so I'm hoping if people do watch it, you will enjoy it, but it's going to be a very long video. Anyway, I thought I'd just update you. I finished Messy Roots last night. Well, I started and finished it last night. This was so good. This was like even better than I expected. Can't wait to see a full colour picture of the like this in full colour when it actually comes out, full colour version, because the full colour bit at the start just looks so beautiful and the colour scheme is so pretty. It's like these yellows and oranges and stuff and it's just beautiful. This is like, it wasn't as sad or as kind of dark as I expected. It was still kind of heavy because it does talk about COVID-19 and how it kind of is growing up in America as when you're born in Wuhan and you've moved to America as an immigrant. Yeah, it was hard, but I feel like it was told in a way that's actually also a little bit, not uplifting, but I don't know, there was just something a little bit lighter than I expected about it. It talks about Wuhan as like, you know, where she grew up and where she has emigrated from, and it actually talks about it with like such a fondness. I felt there was like a hopeful kind of aspect to this book that I really, really loved. I don't know, it was just really beautifully done. And I really, really enjoyed the kind of discussions of trying to find out who she is, not only obviously being a Chinese American, but also being queer. And I just thought it was beautifully done. It didn't talk about COVID as much as I expected, but I actually kind of appreciated that. And I think maybe that's why it wasn't as heavy as I expected either. I would really highly recommend this if you find a copy when it comes out. I think it comes out on the 15th of February in America and the 3rd of March in the UK, I think. So look out for a copy when it comes out because it is so, so good. I haven't managed to read a lot of Gathering of Shadows because I was going to listen to the audiobook while I was running and then obviously I kind of didn't. So I haven't really moved my bookmark that much, but I need to do some reading of that tonight. And I also started You and Me at the End of the World, which I'm enjoying so far. It is like a post-apocalyptic book where these two teenagers, I think they're teenagers, yeah, they talk about school and stuff, are like stuck together at the end of the world and there's nobody else in the world anymore and they don't know where these people have gone. I can tell I'm going to be really compelled to read this because it's a super easy read. I read 50 pages earlier and didn't really think anything of it, and also I think it's just going to be the case of like wanting to know what happened to all of the other people. I feel like this could go anywhere, so super interested to see where it goes. So yeah, super cool reading. So I'm really glad I'm reading this one. I think it was a good pick, and yeah, I'm gonna go now because I feel like I've been talking for hours, because I have, but I wanted to just give you a quick wrap up of what I've been reading today while I had my camera and everything, while my ring light set up and stuff. So I'm gonna go now, and I'm knackered now after filming that very long video. I might do some editing of other videos this evening, and I also have an assignment to finish off, so I'm gonna go and do that next, and then I will update you soon. Hi, it is Thursday? Yeah, I think it's Thursday evening. I'm really questioning myself now, but I'm pretty sure it's Thursday. And I thought I would just give you a quick update. And I thought I'd just give you a quick update on my reading. I haven't actually read any more of You and Me at the End of the World, but I'm hoping to read more of it tonight. But I have read more of The Gathering of Shadows, and I'm really enjoying this. I feel like this is going somewhere I didn't expect, but I don't know why I didn't expect it, because I definitely knew it existed. I just don't think I'd ever put the two and two together. But essentially this one contains a game. I'm not really going to say more than that because I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but there is like a game element to this, which I'm very excited for, and is kind of coming into fruition? That's the right word, isn't it? In this book, in the bit that I'm currently reading, we're kind of getting to that point of the story, which is very exciting. I feel like my favourite element of this series so far is the plot. It's very fast paced, it's very easy to read. I've been listening to the audiobook of this one today while running, and I've been enjoying the audiobook especially. And yeah, I've been finding this really easy to read. I read like 70 pages last night just in one go, and it was super easy to read, so I would say I'm probably over halfway through now. And me and Alex are reading this one until Sunday. We're going to finish this one on Sunday and then carry on with the rest of the series and read A Conjuring of Light, which is the last book. I realise that I will now be able to read the graphic novels, which is very exciting, and there's a hardcover set coming out in February, which is perfect timing, so I think I might get that because I'm very excited that I can actually read those graphic novels now. So yeah, I actually had a bit of a binge buy of V. Schwab special editions this evening. I have a bit of a V. Schwab problem, but you will see those in future videos. I was also given a book today. Courtney came over and she gave me her old copy, so she bought herself the hardcover version and gave me her old version, and I really want to read this, so I'm very excited to have a copy of this one now. Heard such good things about this one, so yeah, I'm very excited to have a copy of The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. But anyway, I am going to head off now. I'm hoping to read more of You and Me at the End of the World at some point this evening, and I will catch up with you tomorrow. it is Saturday and I am off work again. I usually work weekends, but obviously hours have dropped in January, which is why I'm at home more, which is nice. And yeah, I actually got today off, which was really nice. And this morning I went for another park run, which was lovely because I don't normally get to do them because I work Saturdays. But I did my first one with Alex last weekend and I did one by myself today in my local area, which was beautiful, and I'm so glad I went. I really enjoyed it. I had no idea how it would be running with other people, never run with other people before, but I really enjoy it. I really like it. I think it's a lovely community, and yeah, I really liked running the park run again, so that was really cool. And I thought I'd just update you guys with some reading updates today. I've also washed my car, so I'm having a productive morning because my car really needed a wash. But anyway, boring life stuff, onto books, which is what you're here for. I have read a lot more of this, so I read a big chunk of this yesterday, nearly halfway through now. This is such an easy read, like honestly, the main things I like about this one is how easy it is to read. The characters are, I do find them a little annoying, but they're okay, they're intriguing. I like that they have these very distinct personalities. Hannah is very into ballet and she dances a lot, and that's very distinct for her. That's kind of like her life is like ballet. And then Leo is a musician. It is quite cringy in the like character kind of, I don't know, the way that they identify each other. He's like the hot boy in school and she's the ballet chick, and she's like surprising because she likes 80s rock and all of this stuff. It's a little bit cringy with that, and that is what I struggle with. But they're likeable enough. And I think the other thing is I'm intrigued to see where this one goes. Like, this is what keeps me wanting to read on, because I have no idea where this is going to go. This is like a post-apocalyptic. They're in the world on their own. They have been in the world on their own for 5 days, and then they came across each other, and then the story kind of goes from there, and you have absolutely no idea why and what's going on. And I feel like everything right now is just kind of like a cliffhanger, like something happens and obviously they can't explain it. And I think hopefully by the end of the book we'll find out what's actually happening, which I think is the most interesting thing for me, is like finding out why there is no people, where they all went, kind of thing. But yeah, really enjoying this, but very easy read. But I don't think it'll be like amazing or blow my mind or be a new favourite. Very pretty though, I do really like this edition. And then I'm also reading Gathering of Shadows, which I really love. Really enjoying this series. I'm really looking forward to kind of seeing where it goes. I feel like I get more attached to these books as I read them, and get more attached to the characters as well. I have probably just over 100 pages left of this one. Yeah, just over 100 pages. So we're going to finish this one tomorrow, which I'm very excited for, and move on to Conjuring of Light on Monday. Obviously I can't tell you guys much about this because it's the second in the series, but I like the game aspect that we're getting, and I am honestly just waiting for the characters to kind of come together, and that is all I will really say. Love the writing, love how fast-paced it is. I'm listening to this one on audio pretty much equally to when I'm like the amount that I'm reading physically. I feel like that's actually working out really well for me. I feel like I'm more into the audiobook for Gathering of Shadows than I was for A Dark Shade of Magic, because I'm reading it physically as well. I'm more kind of used to the story and used to the writing, and also the audiobook is just generally better than it was for the first one. The first one only had one narrator who kind of didn't fit the characters all that well in my opinion, whereas this one has multiple narrators and I feel like it works really well. So yeah, that's my reading update for now. Me and Alex are doing a live show tomorrow, so Sunday evening, and we're doing reading sprints. I'm hoping to get a chunk of reading done then, which I'll probably update you about at the end of this vlog. But I'm hoping to have maybe finished this. I don't know how much I can read by then. Or maybe finish this in the live shows and move on to another book, but we will see. But yeah, I will update you soon. Hi, it is Sunday evening and I'm here to wrap up this reading vlog. Me and Alex have just got off reading sprints. We sprinted for nearly 3 hours, which is probably the longest sprints we've done, but it was really nice, and I actually was very productive and finished 2 books and started another one during the sprints. So I finished A Gathering of Shadows, which I really enjoyed. This, again, I don't think is quite a 5-star for me, but I'm holding out hope for A Conjuring of Light, which is the last book, which we are due to start tomorrow, and the ending of this book definitely made me excited to start the last one. I was saying to Alex on the sprints, something I really like about this series is how each book so far, definitely the first 2, have had like a very different plot line, and I really like that. I feel like it doesn't feel stagnant at all. It feels very fresh and interesting with each new book, and I'm excited to see where the last one goes and follow the same characters. What I want is a little bit more character interaction between our 2 main characters. I feel like that would give me the level of emotion that I want from this book, the kind of tension and connection between the characters that I'm looking for. So hopefully A Conjuring of Light gives me that. I also finished You and Me at the End of the World by Brianna Bourne. This one was definitely a 3 stars for me. It was very cringy. It is like a dystopian romance, but it's YA and very cringy, and there were some things in here that I was just like, really you said that? One of the comments earlier from the guy Leo was like saying how Hannah, the other character, was wringing her hands, and like, do people really do that? And I was like, that feels a little bit questionable, a little bit belittling of people that probably do that because they have physical signs of their anxiety. And I'm sure it wasn't meant that way, but it just came across a little bit like and obviously sometimes you think, well, the author could be portraying the character like that, and I think although he did kind of come across a little bit like questionable at times, I think she was trying to make him out to seem kind of kind and caring, so I feel like that kind of missed the mark a little bit. And there was a few lines that I was just like, oh my god, this is really cringy, but I enjoyed it. I was curious to see where it went, and I am actually glad with the ending as well. I feel like this could have very easily gone a way that I didn't want it to go, and the way that it did end up going I was okay with, and it was a little bit more kind of grounded than I liked, which yeah, was really enjoyable to read, and it was very quick to read. I read a lot of it in the sprints this evening. So yeah, 3 stars. I liked it, but it wasn't amazing. It was okay. It made me want to read on. It has some atmosphere to it. The characters were mostly kind of likeable, but a little bit annoying with their kind of cringiness. So a very mixed dystopian romance, YA romance, but it did make me want to read on. It was very easy to read, so it gets points for that. I also started the Monsters of Rookhaven, which I've only read the first like 15 pages of so far, but I can tell this one feels already reminiscent of Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, but for a slightly younger audience. Has some beautiful drawings in here, illustrations. I'm looking forward to reading more of this one tonight and seeing where this one goes. And oh, look at this bear. I just came across this drawing of a bear. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I really like how it's illustrated so far. I'm looking forward to seeing where this one goes, but it's about a main character called Mirabelle, who is a monster and lives in a family of like unusual monsters who are like they have a glamour around their house. There's a house on the front cover. They have this like glamour around their house kind of protecting them from the outside world, and then these humans who are an orphaned brother and sister stumble across the Rookhaven, the house, and Mirabelle soon discovers that friendship can be found in the outside world. But yeah, interested to read more from this one. It's a middle grade. If you are interested to see my thoughts on this one, look out for next week's vlog, where I'm sure I will talk a lot more about it. But yeah, I'm gonna head off now. I'm going to get ready for bed because it is getting late and I'm tired, so I will go to bed soon, and hopefully read some more of the Monsters of Rookhaven before I go to sleep. I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. Hopefully I'll see you in next week's vlog. I am actually going away on a little break next week, so hopefully the vlog will be fun and I'll get some reading done on that break as well, although I'm going to visit my grandparents, so that's not the aim of the breakaway, but it will be nice to be away for a few days. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that vlog. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I will see you in the next video. Bye.